mean, they're clean. They're coming in on Saturday evening is what they sent us an email that they were going to do, and they're going to start running on Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evening, and they'll run through Saturday night. But I'm really excited about having them. They're going to 15 to 18 rides is pretty good. That front parking lot will be full. So, and they're one of the best I've ever seen. So.
What type rides?
Huh?
What type of rides?
They got a bunch of everything. I mean, they got I think they have a Ferris wheel, and they just all the good stuff. Trust me, it's really good.
I don't think they have any of the big stuff, like the Ring of Fire, but they have all the kid rides and the Ferris wheel and the what they call the Scrambler and the Tilt-A-Whirl.
But it's going to be
Well, no, I take that back. They might have the Ring of Fire.
They're going to have bigger stuff than you think.
Okay.
But they'll have a tilt-a-whirl, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's my day.
Is that your thing?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they're probably going to have it.
If they have 15 or 18,
Yeah, they're going to have some big
they're
stuff.
going to have a good show then.
Yeah, it'll be good.
How much is it gonna cost to go in?
What's that?
How much is the cost to go in? Cost to go into
Do you
the
know,
carnival?
Julie?
I think the admission is free. You just buy the tickets
Yeah,
for the
that's
ride.
it. You just have to buy your tickets for your rides, and if you buy food, that's separate. But yeah,
But it's
you
free.
get an armband.
It's free parking and free admission.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get your armband.
Get an armband.
Usually armband's $20.
And then you ride everything.
I might be wrong, but that's usually the way it is.
Something like that. Yeah, something similar.
But it should be with that many rides, it should be a good
I
show.
think it will.
With all the other stuff, because last year, even if it rained, we had a good show for them.
Right.
With just a small bit of carnival stuff we had.
Yeah.
So-
So this one's going to be.
So
it's gonna,
we just need to hope for no rain.
you got that right, boy. I'm telling you.
But we on a roll this year.
Oh yeah, so far you got that right. We
I
are.
think we got all the bad luck behind us.
Hope so.
I think everybody's excited about it.
Yeah, I think so.
The parade. I think everything we've had so far this year has been record turnout.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Eclipse thing today we had out here.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like it was over 1,500 people. There was a mob out there.
Yeah. Yep.
But everything is coming out good.
Anybody get any good pictures of the eclipse?
Oh yeah, it was pictures took and
You have to have a special lens.
Yeah. Well, you could damage your camera if you're not careful. Yeah.
I posted some good pictures that a professional photographer took on my thing. I guess if y'all don't wind up with any, I guess I could share them onto the site.
Yeah. Be good.
any other discussion on the carnival. We'll move down to number 2, and it's Old Timers Day.
Well, that kind of goes into the straight from the carnival. Everything so far is in place. I'll let Julie talk about that a little bit as far as vendors and things like that. How many we got lined up so
I
far?
haven't counted. We still are probably lacking, we do need a couple more variety of foods. So if you know any food trucks that you might want to kind of give me their contact or maybe mention. But as far as arts and crafts and sponsors, I think we're doing pretty good.
Plus, we have a mad rush right at the end. Everybody wants in. So it'll be full. There's no doubt about that. So that'll go really good with the carnival.
I think a lot of them kind of might wait on
Oh, they do.
the weather.
Yeah.
The weather. And it depends on what all's going on that weekend. We're moving it back to the second Saturday, so there's quite a bit of stuff going on the second Saturday. The Tennessee State Fair is wrapping up that weekend,
Right.
and then there's 2 or 3 more events going on. Last year we moved it to the 3rd, and about the only thing locally that we had to compete with was Gladeville Fest.
Yeah.
We're back to the 2nd, and I believe it's 5 different events going on in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
But
So what is the date that it is starting on?
I believe it's the 9th. It's the second
it's the
Saturday.
9th.
September?
9th of September.
Yeah.
That's where it was for a long time, 2nd, and then it got to moving around. Then one year we moved it to October. Then the last year it was the 3rd.
We was all set up and ready to go too.
Yeah, we had a big crowd there when it started raining because,
I mean, it just poured.
right.
How was the October one? Did it rain during the October?
No, but it's cool, and they had a lot of frost on the ground, and they had dew, a lot of dew. But it's been a while since we had October.
Yeah.
Sometimes at the second Saturday in September, sometimes it's real hot like today.
Yeah.
And sometimes it ain't too bad. It's just a crapshoot, you know, just like weather.
Right.
You know, and the weather has a lot to do with the turnout too.
Yep.
Is it a one-day event?
There's a one
Old
day-
Timers Day, yes.
The Old Timers Day is the carnival will run from Wednesday to Saturday though.
Will they start with a ham breakfast at the squad and
Yeah,
then
Yes.
move on to the
That'd be Mary
parade?
Jane. Yeah, they're doing that
yeah,
right.
we do.
And it's from 6 now to 10.
Well, I thought he said we might move it up to 5 to 10.
It used to be from 5 to 10, and I,
6 to 10,
okay. So definitely 6 to 10.
Yes.
It may be 5 to 10.
be 5, yeah.
But everybody needs to come by and support the rescue squad for the ham wrappers, and then they'll have time to come over and do the parade. Parade don't start to 10.
Right.
How
So
much
I think,
is ham breakfast now?
you know how much is the
$9.
$9?
All you can eat.
But I think if you're in the parade, I think they want you lined up by 9.
Yeah, you need to be lined up by 9 because it's always some jockeying and some stuff going on, so. And Chip Davis will handle that.
And he always does, last 2 or 3 years, he's done a great job.
And we got the porta potty for down there too.
Good.
Yeah.
Is the seniors gonna have a float?
What's that?
Seniors gonna have a float?
Nope, they're not gonna have one.
Okay, okay.
And I'm kind of glad. I mean, because they're going to set up under the Pavilion A to sell their crafts and stuff, and it's kind of a lot for them to do both things. So they can be set up and ready. So when the parade ends and everybody starts coming in, it's a lot easier.
The reason I asked you that in years past, I think last year it was sort of cloudy, but they're kind of parked out on the pavement, and you kind of get hot sitting out there.
Yeah.
I say if they was going to have a float, we need to park them closer to the building there where they get a little shade.
Right. Yeah, but they're not going to have one this year. They're all
That's
going.
great.
They're going to help out under Pavilion A.
Super. Seem like everything is going to fall in line. We just need to make sure we get the good weather.
That's it. That's exactly right. Everything is in place right now.
So the parade starts at 9?
No, it talks at 10. But if you're in the parade, you need to be there
And lined up by.
and lined up by 9 o'clock. And I think we're going to do the candy deal, you know, pass out the candy, but the plans are we're going to pass it out before the parade, so you know, people get there early in line. I think they're going to pass the candy out before the parade, so we probably start passing the candy out about 9 o'clock.
How will they
And
go
work
out?
and
Do
work
that on
from
the golf carts.
yeah, we're going to work from the
Veterans Park.
Veteran Park back this way, and then we'll go with
That's a
it.
good idea.
That's the plan.
But they're going to be lined up. Be ready.
With their little bags.
Yeah.
But I think anybody that really wants to pass out the candy during the parade really needs to be on the dead last.
Yes.
Where if they wanted to pass it out, they won't hold anybody up.
Yeah, and they need
So-
to be walking, they don't need
They're
to be.
walking and hand it out. And I think we might let them pass out the candy, but they need to be at the very end, which that won't make any difference because, you know, parade lasts about an hour or so.
Right. They won't be slowing anybody
And the
down.
people's already, The trouble is people pass that candy and they're mixed up with the parade and and everybody's stopping and going and the kids is having to run out there. So I think if the people passing out the candy during the parade, they need to be at the very last.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, plus it'll keep everybody in place on the
Right.
sides of the road, waiting for that end of the thing if they
Right,
really like
yeah.
candy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a question on the participants in the parade. I realize that the mounted patrol on horses will be going first or front, but anybody else with horses should be to the very back.
Well, that Chip lines up all of them. That would be, they will definitely bring that up to him.
Oh, please, because
And that is
I
a good
know-
idea.
Yeah.
because
That is a good
I
idea.
know the last year my grandson was in the parade, these kids were so out of step because they were trying to keep from
Stepping in horse
walking in
poop?
poop.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah, some of them did have poop on their shoes, and they wound up throwing them away, and, you know, so, and
I think the sheriff department's mounted horses may have, I call them diapers,
Diapers,
but
yeah.
might have, catch bags.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But,
I ain't never seen that.
well, I've seen them on parades
I have
before. I hadn't seen them on the sheriff department, maybe,
Right.
You might
Maybe that's
talk,
something we can require. If they're gonna be
Yes.
in the parade, they gotta put
Right.
them.
or at least have somebody walking behind them with a
Right.
scoop.
Oh, yeah.
yes, yes. Because, you said Chips is the one that's in charge of the parade.
Yeah,
Yes.
Chip
Maybe
Davis.
You
That's
can
correct.
talk to him about where to
Yeah.
put the horses.
Right. We'll talk to him about that.
Okay.
Chip usually does a great
yeah,
job,
he does.
great job.
I know he always does a good job, but I'm just saying, you know, even last year, some of the band members got the uniforms messed
Kinda
up.
difficult trying to dodge that and stay in step, ain't
It is.
it? All right, we'll bring that up to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, now we're down to new business. Number one, movie in the park. It's August 25th at 8 p.m. It's the Smurf movie.
Yep.
I guess that's catering for kids.
Yeah, it's kinda geared toward kids. We doing it on the football field, Julie?
It's actually a drive-in
gonna be a
in that
drive-in.
first parking lot, and they will have concessions for sale. The gentleman that comes and does the movie sets up and sells snacks and things, so.
And they do a really good job. And we'll, yeah, like you said, it'll be a drive-in. We'll do that in the front field. It was really good last time it was packed. So,
Yeah, I think you had a good, I missed that one. I think I was out of town, but I think y'all had a great turnout.
we did. There's a lot of folks out there.
Successful.
Any scary movies on the menu?
I don't know. We'll have to
Like
check
for
with them.
walking
We
dead
oughta-
people?
We ought to have one close to Halloween.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
Oh, that would be neat.
yeah, we were talking about that, so. That Saturday in the park, speaking of that, Trail of Treats is down there on the 28th. Football plays the same day, but that's never been a problem because we use the front lot and around the pavilion and all. So actually, some of them come over and participate and get involved in it, so that's good. But, I don't know, Julie, you think we can get a movie that night?
May possibly.
Something scary but not too scary?
It's just gonna
That's
be, I don't
also
know.
a city meeting.
We might not do Chainsaw Massacre or Wrong Turn. That might be a little bit strong there.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Chainsaw or Wrong Turn, that'd probably be a little.
Yeah, we'd hear about that.
Oh, I still remember when Psycho came out. I saw it at a drive-in movie theater in Donaldson,
Yeah.
Hermitage, Donaldson area. I'll never forget. Everybody got in there. We had the trunk piled up with people. We all pulled in, opened the trunk, everybody gets out. I think it's for free admission you do that. And,
Might be something better than Ghost of Mr. Chicken.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of old there.
Everybody's wanting to get back in the trunk.
Yeah, we'll look into it and see what we can find.
Number two is Howl at the Moon. That's October 20th at 8 p.m. I know in the last 2 or 3 years, we moved it back to 8 because of the traffic.
Correct.
And I think that's helped a lot, and I think the motorists has appreciated it. It's still an issue, but not as bad as it is at 7, because 7 you're still catching the rush hour. 8 o'clock gives them a little breather.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the Howl at the Moon run working with us on that. I know it's hard to schedule it, but I think it's made a big difference.
Friday, it's typically been the best day for it.
Right.
You know, that's when we get the biggest turnout, so.
And Fridays is usually the biggest day of the week that the traffic is on Thursday
No,
and Friday.
no. But I think it'll be okay at 8 p.m. You're gonna get complaints no matter
Oh,
what
yeah.
you do, or no matter what
Yeah,
you do.
8 p.m. is a whole lot better than at 7.
Yep.
We're down to,
I'll be out directing traffic too. Box 100 will be directing traffic.
We appreciate it, Bob. All the help we can get on that day.
yeah. And number 3, the Trail of Treats, that's October 28th.
Yep.
That's at the Veteran Memorial Park from 2 to 4. It's 2 hours, but usually we bring a lot of people. I've seen as much as between 2,500 and
Oh, yeah.
4,000 kids come through
It's
there.
bigger every year.
Especially if we fall on a day that Smyrna don't have theirs,
Right.
or another one. But it was one year up there, a couple of years back, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't have 4,000 people
I
come
know,
through there.
it's huge. It gets, and like you said, it gets
It'll
bigger.
get bigger.
So,
I think we pretty well covered it. I think, I can't never say this enough for the Park and Rec team. Even today on the eclipse, y'all was out doing what y'all could, and I appreciate all the help.
Well-
Y'all do a great job on all events.
and let me say, and that's why you see John down here on the end. I got John coming to the meetings now because kind of where we've kind of split off as a maintenance department and back into Parks and Rec, John's gonna be my lead guy from now on. So he's heading up a lot of this stuff. And you've seen us down here today, but you didn't see all that was going on up there too. We were mowing and weed eating, and we cut the bleachers off of the inline hockey because it's not safe anymore. And we moved bleachers down there so they would have bleachers, and we boarded it up and put up signs up, do not use. And I mean, we were running all day long, even with this event going on. Even with 2 hours of the day, shutting down, we still got all the shrubs watered over at the Greenway, and I'm telling you, we was wide open. So I can't sing their praises enough, man. They get a lot of stuff done.
And I believe on the agenda for the MA meeting, I think it may be on there for new bleachers at the inline hockey.
Well, I'm waiting on my quotes to come in. That I should get some in the morning. It's going to be a big ticket. I mean, that's a big deal. To put bleachers that big, you need 10 to 15 row bleachers there, and if they're aluminum, you're looking at around $20,000. But what I didn't tell y'all is I talked to Youth Incorporated, and he's willing to go halves on it.
Yeah.
Now that's huge. He said he may not be able to do it right away, but he'll come back in with it later when they, as their season gets going. But that's pretty good. So,
But it's something we definitely need to do because I rode by there right after staff meeting. I guess it's before y'all started working on it.
Yeah.
And they are kind of looking kind of shabby.
well, if you climb up on, there's some that are rotten. That's why we put plywood up so they can't access it and cut the stairs off. So there's no way to get in there now. I mean, they might find a way, but they ain't supposed to be up there. They know it. So.
What about cameras up there by Veterans Memorial Wall?
That's been
Especially
a-
with
that's been a
everything
thing.
going on in the country. You see it on the news. People are getting an idea that any kind of statue is bad, and they're tearing them down. They're taking it upon themselves to vandalize them and tear them down. And my prediction is, it's gonna be next, is the Veterans Walls and statues.
I hope not. And
I hope not either,
Every
but-
morning I come to work, I look around the corner like that because I want to make sure that statue's still standing up.
It's something that the cameras at the park is something that we've been needing for a long time. And I know I mentioned it to different people, and it's something that just ain't falling in line on it.
We've got so much invested in that memorial, and that's something we've got that no other little city around here has. It's very unique to our area,
Well,
and
the thing about it
everybody,
is, too, if you're going to put cameras out there, you can't just put any old camera out there. You got to
No.
put something out there that can
A very
identify
good-
somebody if they do something.
a
Right.
very good, high-quality
because-
night vision.
Because you can put cameras out there and you can see them doing it, but you can't identify them. That's
Well,
the
there's
problem.
cameras you can get, and I think it would be a good investment to get a good, high-quality camera that could do just that. And I mean, I would back it. I would tell everybody, try to get as many people as I could to get on board to back something like that, because our veterans, I mean, this is the least thing we can sacrifice to do that. I mean, we've all gone out of our way to make sure that's the most beautiful Veterans Wall and statues and everything around
It is, yeah. I
in
agree.
our area. And you know as well as I do, if it's out there, there's going to be some kids or punks or whoever these
At
people
some
are
point, you're right.
that are going to try to tear it up and vandalize it because they don't care, they don't know history,
Yeah.
and it's a matter of time. And I would really love for us to have the cameras before somebody does something like that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll got it down here. And policing was talking about doing something at one time about putting cameras up there, but there was a grant for that, and I don't know if that fell through or what. So I'll get with Chief Walker and find out, but I'm sure there's probably some grants we can get.
And I mentioned it to 2 or 3 people.
Remember we had initially, early on, when we started, was it over a year ago? We had talked about possibly getting Public Works to make some signs that talk about, I think when they broke the LED light or something. Yeah, getting some signs made that are posted up there that say this is a federal offense or something like that, and put up the amount of the fines and the jail time.
Right.
Or,
I had talked to Bruce about that. He said he wasn't sure if how we could word that and not get in trouble for it, and he was gonna look into it and see that, I think Chief Walker was gonna look into it and see if it was a federal offense to vandalize that, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Evan might know.
Evan would probably know.
I
I'll
mean,
send him-
they're U.S. military.
Yeah.
If we never get the legal script on it, we can have it made over at Public Works. They can make us any sign we need.
Yeah, and I want to put it somewhere where it doesn't take away from the memorial.
Right.
If they know, you know, maybe post it out, when you're coming up the walkway, put it out there.
And something about surveillance.
Yeah, it's gonna help too.
And then I think if it ever does happen and somebody vandalizes it, I think we should post some rewards. Because they'll snitch. If they're gonna tear something up like that, they don't have any morals. They're gonna snitch on,
Oh, yeah, somebody's gonna
Each
tell.
other.
They think they can get a little money out of it.
Yeah.
and I don't wanna take up much more time, but I wanted to bring up, last meeting that we all came to, we, all showed up. Some of us showed up, and I mean, some could and some couldn't. And every now and then, things can happen to us to where we can't show up. But, I think the fact that we've got 2 people that have not been to a meeting in well over a year and have not contacted anybody, or out of respect for everybody, to let them know they're not coming at each meeting. And I mean, over and over again, you know,
Well, I
it's
think
just, it's a
that's funny that you
reoccurring thing.
bring
And
that
I
up.
brought that up. I brought this up for what, about a year? Off and on for a year? And I mean, I like the people that aren't showing up, the 2 people that keep not coming for well over a year. But there's also open seats that other people that are interested in this board could be sitting in that are gonna show up.
I agree. I sent an email to Bruce today addressing just that. So it's gonna be on the workshop agenda, about one of those members. So, we'll see about the other one. That's something that Dennis and I will have to work out. But, yeah, with his approval, then we can move forward with that.
Well, I know one of them hasn't been since the first day that I started.
And that's the one I wrote the email about. And we
And
have
then
some of
the
the
other one-
seniors advisory committee too. That, I
Yes,
addressed those
yes.
as well.
And then the other one, she hasn't been since that one, except for one meeting that she did show up to, just to make a point.
You're right. Yeah, I agree. So with Dennis as the chairman, if we can work that out and move forward with that, I'm good with that because,
Yeah, we'll definitely work on it because, you know, if they're not gonna show up, you know, sometimes one of us might not be able to show up, and it falls into a problem that we don't have a quorum.
Like last
You know.
month, we couldn't do it.
So, it's something that we definitely need to work on.
well,
And,
I'll get with you tomorrow and then it may be too late to get it on the agenda. I don't know. I'll ask Bruce, but I'll try to get it on there and just add that person.
I think the deadline I think the staff meeting was today, so we might have missed it, but,
Right.
we'll definitely, need to make a move on that.
Yeah, okay.
Because, like last month, you know, we couldn't have a meeting because
Right.
one of us was missing, so it kind of puts a hardship on everybody.
And you know, you guys would rather do something else if you didn't have this meeting.
Of course.
Right. The next meeting will be September the 18th, 2017, at 6 p.m., in which it will be a workshop.
Yep.
It'll be a workshop. Anybody have any final discussions?
Now, how's the softball, baseball sign-ups coming along?
Well, right now, they're just getting ready for fall ball, so the signups are just going. I'm not sure how many they've gotten so far, but fall ball's numbers are typically down because there's so much other stuff going on. Kids playing football and other things going on, school starting back. So numbers aren't typically high for softball and baseball in fall, but I'll find out what they are and I'll let you know. I know there's some because they've been down there. When I came up here this weekend, football was already playing, And, I seen, Frankie and them up there at the concession stand, so they were taking sign-ups then. So, there's some signing up, I know that.
Oh, I had a question. Do we have entertainment lined up for old timers, and is it on the Parks and Rec post?
We got lots of entertainment.
Yeah, we got,
Yes.
Okay.
we loaded for bear in that
Oh, yeah,
category.
it's gonna be good.
You've got more than one, right, this year?
Yeah,
Lots of them?
yeah. We
Okay.
got- Julie, how many we got on, set up for entertainment on, it's like 8 of them, isn't it, or?
Well, you would ask me, and I'm trying to think. We've got Mike Oldham and the Tone Rangers as our headliner,
They're
so
gonna
he'll
be- yeah, they're
play an
good.
hour and a half. The Wild Blue Yonder, which is an Appalachian type music. The animal guy, Bob Tarter, one of his workers is going to come with the animals. The Funky McFlys, which everybody loves them, they're coming as well. So I think that's all of our lineup that we've
Yeah.
got.
What kind of animals?
It just depends on, I don't know
I got a
the
picture
exact.
I'll show you. He had a kangaroo
Right.
last year.
He's here every
Yeah.
year, and
Yeah.
each year he'll bring like a different,
Animal.
one might be desert animals, one might be, and it's more of an educational, program for,
I should bring my bird.
We also gonna have the,
I can't, I have to make her watch her language, though.
AC, we also gonna have the inflatables,
Are we doing inflatables at,
no, we're not doing inflatables. Since
not on old
the
timers,
carnival? Yeah.
just the carnival. And, Odom, he's gonna also be singing.
Oh, he's
Likely,
gonna be,
yes.
he's the headliner. He's gonna
Okay.
be the last one up, and he's bringing, I'm sure he's bringing a lot, it's all, Grand Ole Opry pickers.
Yeah.
most of them. So it's gonna be good.
Is this on the Parks and Rec, online site?
Is it on the parks page yet?
Oh, it's all, yeah, it's, I don't know if we have the entertainment lineup, but the festival itself is on the site.
Okay,
Or City Hall as well.
okay.
I'm getting a lot of inquiries about the splash pad. AC, can you kind of update us on this, where
Well,
we
we
stand
have-
on the splash pad?
We had Griggs and Maloney looking at it, and she gave us a couple of rudimentary drawings, but what it is, you gotta pay the money for the engineer to get the drawing done. And that's usually a pretty penny, that's about 50 grand, I think.
Well, I think we appropriated $100,000
Yeah.
up front for it.
We did.
Because to get any kind of grants or any kind of funding, we've got to have something, planned out, you know.
Right. Yeah, you have to.
So are you gonna have enough staff to maintain that and patrol it and keep it safe and secure and,
Well, I'll be honest with you, with the Greenway opening up, and I took a ride down that, that's a lot bigger project than we thought.
huge,
There is a ton of grass and weed eating to be done down there.
it's huge.
And, I mean, and the cleanup, if we have a couple of days of hard rain and the creek comes up and trash gets hung in trees, it's just gonna be, and then the underpass down here, when it floods and the water recedes, it leaves this much mud.
Yeah.
And the only way to get that out of there is with a shovel.
So how many employees would you need? I mean, because you're already stretched to the limit.
Well, on the splash pad, it's seasonal, so that could be part-time.
Yeah,
But isn't that
We could probably do
summer?
that with 2 seasonals, but truthfully, I need 4 people,
4 new people?
4 new people.
And that's with the splash pad and the greenway?
No.
No, just. the
Okay,
splash
just
pad.
with
4 new
what you've
people
got
and then
now.
2 for the splash pad.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
But they
just,
do seasonal, so.
but seasonal is when you're the busiest too, isn't it? Isn't the seasonal when
Yeah.
the splash pad would be open?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that your busiest time for taking care of the greenway and the grass and,
Yep.
and everything
But
else?
with 4 new
fields.
people, I could focus, I could focus 2 of them on that a couple days a week. It just depends on how bad it is, but it's.
I mean,
it's
I'd
gonna be a
hate to
lot.
see you guys drop dead of a heart attack from
Oh, yeah.
stress and
Yeah.
heat and trying to overdo and do the job
Well,
of
and with us
4
kinda
extra
splitting 2
people.
from the maintenance, with us kind of splitting 2 from them, we still have to work together. There's no way he can do it, and there's no way I can do it. We have to have the people, so we gotta help each other. for
So
now.
we need 4 people just to maintain what we've got now with the greenway.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. And then if we
splash
get
pad
the
too,
splash pad, it's gonna be what, maybe 6, 7 people extra?
Well, we can do it with seasonals, but the maintenance on the splash pad is still gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole
So,
year
I mean,
round thing.
like you say, we're stretched. We really are.
What kind of budget would you need for about 4 extra people? Just to have the minimum required?
I would have to figure it up, but it would, right now, since we split off, my budget is around 650, I think. You're looking at just a little over $1 million, I'm sure. I'll have to figure it up. and get
Probably
the
have
number
to
you.
triple To do everything and the splash pad, your
Well,
budget would have
you-
probably
well,
have to
you bring in
triple.
too with insurance on top of that.
That's why I say you'd have to
Yeah.
triple, you'd have to triple what you're getting now.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be expensive. But that's the thing, we keep getting more stuff, and I like the stuff, and it's good for the citizens, but if you can't take care of it,
Right.
There's no sense in having it, and you gotta be able to take care and maintain what you've got before you get more.
That's right.
That's like, I'd like a bunch of sports cars, but I can't even keep my own car.
But that just goes with it. As the city grows, you know, I know in the last 3 years, you know, we've added 35 new employees.
Yeah.
You know, as we grow, you know, we got to add police, fire, and employees, you know, that's something it's never gonna stop.
But can't we go ahead and take care of that deficit that we've got already with the employees before we add more on to their plate?
well,
Can't we- I
if
mean-
y'all think about it like this, we added on the Lake Forest Park, we've added on, Brookside back here, and we still have Mankin that we're taking care of, and then now we've got a greenway, and we're talking about a splash pad, and I've gotten one new person, and I need more.
I mean,
That's all there is
in
to it.
order for the city to grow and to maintain these things, we've got to maintain the departments that take care of them. And it would make sense to me that if you don't have enough already to take care of what you've got, you know, I mean, why add all the goodies on?
That's where in the
knowing that you
last 3 years, we have added 35 new employees, you know, and we'll keep adding as the time goes on, but, you know, we've come a long way in 3 years, 35 employees, you know,
That's a lot.
That's a lot, and that's probably more than we put on in the last 5 or 6 years.
But we're still so short, and I mean, these guys are
We're short, but, you know, it's a work in progress. I'm sure every city's the same way. I don't think no city has got a excess of employees. But, you know, 35 employees in 3 years, you know, is something is to be proud of. You know, it's better than 20.
But we'd also have to consider, security-wise,
Right.
I mean, there's something else that have to be considered.
Well, we're gonna do what we can do, and, you know, we'll take care of it, it's just.
I don't think you're gonna be able to do it.
Well-
Because of the time
Yep.
restraints, you've got so many hours in a day. You've got so many men and women that can actually do the job. And when you're short, you're short. That's like putting in 10 gallons of gas and knowing you gotta go so many miles and you really needed 20.
Right.
You're not gonna be able to do it. And it's gonna come down to people getting sick and people getting hurt because they're trying to do the job of 2 or 3 people, and they're not gonna be able to do it in the end.
Well,
And it's gonna be a
but
catastrophe.
right now, we have no choice, we
You gotta
have to
keep
do it.
trying. You gotta
Yep,
keep
we're gonna
trying, of course.
That's it,
You gotta keep trying.
yep.
But I understand that the weather conditions that y'all work in, especially during the seasons when everything is the busiest,
Yep.
is gonna put an extra stress on the employees, and that's gonna put a risk on workers' comp claims and injuries and sicknesses and things like that.
Yeah, we can't afford to have anybody out.
And I just think that y'all need more people before we move on and keep adding on to your plate. I mean, maybe that's just the way I think, but I think that's the way most people think.
Well, I mean, as a department head, I agree. I mean, I'll always take more people, always, because with as much stuff as we got going on, I can use them.
Well, how do we get you more people? Because I would like to have a splash park. I'd like to have a community center. I'd like to have all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But first, I want to make sure that y'all aren't killing yourselves trying to take care of what we've got.
Well, that's gonna be up to the board of mayor and aldermen. I mean,
So who do we ask?
Well, we would never put a splash pad in without personnel to attend it. Right now, we don't have a splash pad. If we put a splash pad in, we might need 3 part-time people.
Well, we got a greenway when we
We
don't
got a
have-
greenway,
we don't have
but
personnel.
the greenway has been in the works for 20 years. We're fixing to open it up, and we're finding out now that we didn't know 2 or 3 years down the line, we got
well,
to have
10
more
years
people.
ago, when it got started, I don't think there was any forethought into how much maintenance there was actually gonna be in it. Because those bushes grow over the trail too. They all gotta be cut back on a regular basis. And with a creek being right there, everything grows like crazy. So, and then to try to get the trash, I'm gonna order a bunch of hip waders, Because we have to get in there and get that stuff out. I mean, there's chairs and couches and people just trash stuff but it's gotta come out of there, you know, so, and that takes time. I mean, that's a lot of work. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, and being realistic, I could use 4 more people just because the mowing, when the weather's like this and it rains on and off, the grass just jumps. I mean, you gotta mow every day.
Can you use prisoners, or what do you call
Well,
them?
we use inmates now.
Inmates?
Yeah, but I mean, they're on and off. I mean, it depends on if they're available or not. But we use them a lot of the times. Well, we get 1 or 2.
And that's still not enough. You still need 4 employees in addition to them.
No, that's not enough.
Well, I say we make a cause for more employees.
Hey, I'm all for it. I like to have more people.
I'm all for new employees. That's why since I've been elected mayor, you know, I've hired 35 employees.
But
you
it's
know.
timing. It's all timing. I don't think I can just ask for them. When February comes around and then we do the budget talks, then that's when I'll ask for my employees. I mean, it'd be great to get some before that, but realistically, that's probably when it'll happen, if I'm gonna get any. So.
Anybody have anything else? We've had some good questions. I'm proud of everybody.
How could you make
Bring it
it
up.
happen? How could you make that happen?
Just AC needs to turn in his budget
Yep,
at budget time and,
it'll be on there,
you know,
yeah. And then they look at it, they look at the budget, and then they decide.
Did you ask for them last time?
I always ask for somebody.
Did you get them?
I've gotten 1.
How many did you ask for?
Last time I asked for 2, but that was before I realized this greenway was gonna be such a headache, so I'll ask for more next time, I promise.
I noticed some kids riding bicycles on the Greenway.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Can we use the Greenway yet?
You can use it, it's not officially open, but they're still doing work. I wouldn't try to walk the whole thing, because on the opposite end down near the roundabout, there's a lot of big equipment and stuff down there, so I wouldn't go down there.
Can you take your dogs on a leash?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
anybody have anything else? I'll call this meeting adjourned.